And on top of that, all right, just as critically, okay, it's going to give our athletes a great experience in sport if they truly feel like someone's trying to actually understand them. Okay, because it helps them to understand themselves, and it then helps them to relate to their fellow team members. I mean, who's ever had a personality clash in your team which completely, or at least in part, may have derailed your season? Yeah, okay. If you're not putting your hand up, I'll assume that you're still in that forming stage. All right. There is not a coach that we have worked with that has not experienced a personality clash which has led to at least some poor levels of morale. You know, we've got coaches that really struggle to coach specific types of athletes, specific types of players, true? I mean, are there players that you naturally get along with really well and just find really easy to coach? But then you get the opposite too, don't you? I wonder why. Well, DISC can give you those answers. All right, so let's have a look at this. Just a couple more slides. This one here is what we call the DISC behavioural conflict model. And you can see all those arrows going all over the place, but basically it's not as complex as it might look. All we're suggesting here is that when we have a personality clash, what we really have is just a behavioural pattern clash. And so you've got your preferred way of doing things, but it's quite likely that someone else could have a different pattern to you. And so DISC enables you to understand that ahead of time. And so we'll often have conversations with the team in their pre-season about saying, well, you're a D and you're an I. What's an obvious clash that you two are going to have? Well, for starters, when you turn up to practice, you're going to want to get things done and get on the move and start practicing. Your I friend there might want to have a chat and a conversation to team members about who knows what. Something off topic, but it won't be related to practice. So who's right? Because quite often we're programmed to think, well, I must be right because, you know, that's how I behave and that's what works for me. The other person thinks that they're right too, but there's no right and wrong with this. But at some point in time, we've got to do what? We've got to subscribe to what is right for the team. And that is that common goal. That's why it's so critical to set those foundations at the very beginning. Does that make sense? Okay, so this model can just help you understand where it is likely that all of your different players and teams are going to have some potential clashes or issues with each other, and you can sort that out ahead of time so they don't become a clash, they don't become a negative, they actually become a strength. Okay.